welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Alaya, and today we're talking about Troubleless Saints by Alaya Johnson. Troubleless Saints is a fantasy noir set in an alternate early 1940s in New York City, where the main character, Phyllis, is a mob hitwoman. She's been gifted with this magical power called the Hands that expresses itself in a few people in the population, all people of color, and manifests in different abilities. So hands that when you touch someone, you can detect if they're a threat to you or know their secrets. And Phyllis's gift with the hands is she's good with knives. And so she uses that ability in the service of a mobster, Russian Vic. And as the novel begins, she's sort of forced to confront the consequences of having done that, and to grapple with whether or not this is an appropriate use of her gift, whether or not this is something that she really wants to be doing and something that she believes in, because she's believed for the entirety of her career that she's his angel of justice, that she is there and killing people who should be killed, not just some ordinary goon or muscle person out to do a hatchet job, but something where there's a bit of righteousness to the death. And of course she discovers pretty early on that the situation is a little more complicated than she had initially imagined and had imagined for about a decade. And so it was a really thought-provoking book, another one of those ones that I love, with the rich, lush prose, almost like when there's a thunderstorm, and for a brief moment things are totally illuminated and you can pick out all of these little details, and then it's dark again. That's sort of what it felt like reading this book. These moments of illumination and obscurity, and just throughout the book, like being in a lightning storm. It was really a remarkable work. And so we've got this week's drink. Is appropriately for Phyllis, an angel of justice, a shaken sour, starting with bourbon. And because it's an angel of justice, we've got the Angel's Envy bourbon. Early in the novel and throughout, we see characters who appreciate really fine whiskeys and particularly bourbons, and so I wanted to, one, use that as our base spirit, and two, it's nice to choose something that's a little extra thematically appropriate, as the Angel's Envy is. And it really is some top-tier whiskey, good for sipping and good for mixing cocktails. We've got 1.5 ounces of the Angel's Envy bourbon in there. And then our modifiers, we're going to start, let's start with some grapefruit juice. We're going to get 3/4 of an ounce of grapefruit juice, a little bittersweet, a little ruby red, so like so much of the blood that's spilled, and like so much of this sort of journey of discovery and of restitution that Phyllis finds herself on. So we got the bittersweet grapefruit juice in there, and because the grapefruit juice isn't quite as tart as some of our other citruses, gonna get 1/4 of an ounce of lemon juice in there, just to bring a little extra balance, a little extra brightening, so that it's not quite super sweet, and just bring an extra zing. Then, for our primary sweetener, we've got our hibiscus syrup, one that we've used before, another sort of tart, sweet, we're going to get 1/2 ounce of that, lovely red, again, there are books, that have a lot of blood, that have some sharp knives, and this is one of them. And we're going to get half an ounce of that in there. Then finally, got a fun little ingredient that we haven't used before. We've used some of their other bitters. This is the Crude Bitters Poudre, Smoke and Salt. It's a sort of smoky, briny bottle of bitters. It's a good way to add just a bit of smoke to a drink the way you would with a mezcal or with a Scotch whiskey without yielding yourself entirely to the spirit. You have, your dropper full, and so you've got a lot more control over how much smoke you want in the drink. And because it does pack a pretty hefty punch, we're going to get just one dropper full in there. So you've got that wonderful blend of citrus and smokiness, this sort of bittersweet, and then we'll add our ice. As always, adding ice last, because that's our chef's flame. Good. Give that a shake. Yeah, there we go. Nice frosted tins, and give that a stout tap. Wonderful. And then we'll take our hawthorn strainer and strain into our waiting cocktail glass. There we go. And there you go. So there you have it. It's an Angel of Justice, a shaken sour in honor of Alaya Dawn Johnson's Trouble the Saints. The book is available now. Got a link down below to snag the book, as well as tools and ingredients like the bitters from our friends at the Boston Shaker. Links to Twitter and Instagram, where there are always written versions of our recipes. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think. It's a fun one with a really exciting balance of different flavors in here. And until next time, cheers.